Welcome to our reality, everyone. I don't know why you're here, but I am glad you are because tonight we're going to be talking about the Survivor 49 finale. 3 hours and some change worth. But we do have a new winner of Survivor 49 this intermittent season between on the way to Survivor 50. But the winner tonight will continue to see on Survivor 50 in Savannah Louie, winning in a 5-2-1 vote in our finale tonight. So if you're here joining us live, we are on YouTube. If you want to join in the chat, we're going to be recapping not only the finale tonight, some episodes that we have missed in the past couple of weeks, recapping just the season as a whole, or at least our thoughts on the season as a whole, favorite players, favorite moments, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. A little bit different of a layout tonight, though, because my name is Barrett. First of all, joining if you're here for the very first time, welcome. Joining me as always is the Zack Perez, the Survivor esteemed. Oh my gosh, I'm getting my order off. My esteemed Survivor colleague, and
Oh,
maybe why I'm getting thrown off is because the Nick City is not here to join us. The Nick City had an opportunity to go to a Survivor finale party tonight in New York. So Nick's having a great time and did watch the finale. Is just not going to be recapping the finale with us. So maybe we'll have like a Nick tell all, Nick City tell all that we can do where we can get his thoughts on the finale as well. But welcome everyone that is here currently, including Zach. Zach, hello, first of all. And I would love to know your general thoughts before we dive into the finale itself on the finale.
I mean, I overall I really liked it. I've been uh, I've been standing a specific person pretty much the whole season, and I mean, I got what I wanted, and I'm happy. Um, we'll get into it, but I feel like there's one side of me that's like real. It's a decent Survivor season if going into it, if you take out the fans reception, everything like that, but I feel like there is an underlying, people are saying a lot of these players are stupid or idiots because they're just letting Rizzo and Savannah run away with this, but we're looking at it from a different lens because um spoiler alert, obviously Savannah wins, and Savannah and Rizzo are, this is Survivor 50, spoiler, but Savannah and Rizzo are going to be on Survivor 50.
Gasp.
I don't know when they are going to announce it because obviously they weren't going to imagine if it was the finale or the wrap up party and it's like, and we have decided to cast two of you for Survivor 50 in front of everyone.
I did kind of wonder if there was going to be any hint as to who was going to be on Survivor 50 besides the obvious edit that we've seen over like the past couple of months. Like I knew that Rizzo was on 50 going into the season. I didn't know Savannah was, but I think within 4 episodes I was kind of like I think Savannah's probably the other person just based on everything. Um but yeah, I want to know your thoughts first of all, since
Yeah.
we're talking about Savannah as the winner, kind of the obvious, and we just got over the Amazing Race where we had two pretty obvious winners going into the finale. I figured Savannah would be the winner if I had to make a prediction going into this finale, and was correct. But it felt a little bit better of a finale to watch through, so I agree with you on that front. Not a bad finale, but I want to know your thoughts on Savannah Louie as a winner, especially in this new era of Survivor, because I saw Savannah as the outlier on this cast. I think everyone can say they saw Savannah as the outlier on this cast and how she played the game. So I want to know your thoughts just on her performance this season, her in the grand winner circle now in Survivor history, and I guess your thoughts on how excited you are to watch her on 50 since we know this information.
Yeah, so Savannah, so I'm going to take a look at it as like one in the new era winners because I feel like, because new era is post 39 days and there's a big debate between 39-day season is way different than a 28-day season or 26 whatever, 26, I don't know. Yeah, 26-day season, and old guard versus new guard type thing. So in the batch of new era winners, though, I feel like she's on the upper end, honestly. But I think it also depends on the cast because I feel like if you're a first time viewer or anything like I want to like for you, did you kind of think maybe like she's just going way hard at this. She's going to get eliminated eventually. Did you think that?
I no, I mean, of course. I think this is the season where you were supposed to think that like 5 times because there it felt like there were 5 times where everyone should have gotten Savannah or Rizzo out of this game, and for whatever reason we wanted to pretend that they were not the move for this round. And so I think, particularly that Jawan vote, what is, looking back at it, the time.
Yeah.
I think everyone wants to look at that. So um first of all, before I continue, I do want to acknowledge everyone in chat, including Nick City, who just hopped in. So, hello, Nick. This is probably weird for you. But we also have Colton, Nick Firmstone, the true resident Nick of the chat tonight, I think. Nick of the podcast, Nick Firmstone. And then Brett Bailey, resident pharmacist, is here as well. So, thank you all for being here. But yes, um, Savannah I saw as the obvious winner choice, but then again, this watching Big Brother, I'm not very good with choosing winners. So I thought that, we were sitting here talking about Savannah as the winner, but it was kind of like, I don't know, picking the obvious choice. Like it felt like kind of like picking Morgan maybe on Big Brother if we're talking recent picks. Like it was like, oh, it's
Yeah.
an obvious winner. Obviously, Morgan did not end up winning that season, but at least it felt very similar. And like, if everything works out even slightly correctly, this is the path. And then, of course, based on everyone not seemingly wanting to vote the correct way, or you have someone like Sage who just seems to be like have self-inflicting wounds every single time she goes to tribal and turning on Steven, most importantly, after being like Savannah and Rizzo gotta go. It's gotta be Savannah and Rizzo. And then after doing the Steven vote, being like, how about Savannah and Rizzo? It's like, okay, you had your chance to really split this up, especially if
Mhm.
you just vote out Sophie just to break up this trio. And it just kept not happening. And that mixed in with Savannah's just willingness to not lose any endurance competition that seemingly came her way, which is like you're making the path for her at that point. And it was very impressive to watch. It was very fun to watch her on the season just because her vibe was so different than everyone else, and the way that she played the game would scare me if I was on that island. I would be Christina if she approached her and being like, who are you voting? You remember Christina, was it the last episode where she's like, who are you voting? Like she just
I
like
think
can't,
yeah, I,
just the
I,
difference in way she approached people, even if it rubbed people the wrong way, she found that balance, of course, and made her way tonight, with not getting all of the votes. She had her haters, and she had the
yeah.
people that deservedly, put their vote somewhere else, I think, and rationally. So to
And
wrap it
that
all up, and we're going to talk about her a long time, and I'm sorry, I feel like I'm not
no, you're
letting you
good.
talk at all, but
Hey,
I am very impressed. Oh my God, I am very impressed with Savannah. Very deserving winner. I think it would be hard to see an outcome that was not a Savannah win, and it would be a probably big what if. So I am glad we're talking about that, and it seems to be the case that everyone else is thinking we're cool with Savannah winning this season. But continue, Zach.
well, yeah, because I feel like the bad thing about the season is majority of people, at least if you're online, if you're see anything online about Big Brother, you would know that Savannah and Rizzo are on season 50.
Yeah.
Um, and people were drawing conclusions because um in the casting for season 50 for the new era, there were what was it? For some seasons, they were casting at least one winner and one other person from the seasons, certain seasons, not all of them.
Mhm.
And people knew it was Savannah and Rizzo. And then they were like, well, based on because they were like, well, based on this, why wouldn't they cast a winner and then someone else? Uh, Especially people that we don't know. So they definitely took a big swing and everything like that. And I feel like it's like hindsight is 2020. Um, Everyone is just saying how dumb these players are and everything like that. But I wish I could go back and watch this season without the lens of I already know two of these people at least making it pretty far or winning. Um,
Yeah.
so like any trouble that they do have or any adversity, they're gonna get out of it. But whenever I try to look at it from someone who doesn't know anything like that, it's like there could have been some really good like shocks, like especially that Steven vote. Like, but
Hmm.
but but going back to Savannah as a winner, I'm happy with it. I'm glad that she won. I mean, I'm Savannah Stan here foremost. Good friend of the pod. Uh, uh,
Nice.
but as far as like, because I want to look at her as new era winners, and I feel like any other season, any different people, depending, she might have rubbed people the wrong way based on how hard she played at sometimes, which
Yeah.
obviously she did because she didn't get some votes, which um so it's going to be interesting to see how she plays in 50 though, because it's going to be hard, it's going to be a lot of dominating people and everything, but I'm happy. I would rank her like at least top 4 of at least in the top half of new era winners.
Yeah. Well, good to know. Okay. That's great. That does actually help me out a lot. I do want to know. First off, I should mention this was the first all-female final tribal council since season 29, which
Yeah,
is
2014.
crazy. Um, but I
That
do
was
want to know.
Natalie Anderson's season.
Yeah, I saw the screenshot. I had no idea Natalie was included in that one until I saw the screenshot. Yeah, newbie. But I do want to know, did you think were you worried at all about Savannah's votes with that jury based on the questioning? We'll talk about final tribal council and all the jury
Yeah,
questioning. And I know people want to talk about the Christina question in particular, but were you worried at all just based on Savannah's game that she wasn't going to lose more than just those 3 votes, I guess?
I was because if you what Nick was saying in chat, he was saying he thought that Savannah and Rizzo got put on 50 because they lost 49 and they were playing so hard.
Mhm.
And I thought that too, for like it was in the back of my mind because I was like, what if they both get eliminated and they're being brought back because they are playing hard and Jeff sees it?
Mhm.
And I was just like, some of the questions and stuff, and I was just like, Savannah was doing good in some, and then all of a sudden, Sophie wasn't getting anything bad towards her though. It was like nothing but pretty much good or not much. So I was just like, what is it gonna be Sophie? And then Savannah's gonna be like the what could have been, but you know, it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. I thought about it for a second, just like thinking about maybe Christina being in the final travel. Like maybe for some reason
Yeah.
Christina gets a lot of love or something. So that's when I really started having the gears turned for
She has like
like
a bitter jury.
yeah, and then of course, with Rizzo still there at the beginning of the finale, they were giving him like the clown music when him with him talking about I think, me doing that idol move was a really big move to do, in front of the jury, and I think it'll be respected. And I was like, "Oh, this doesn't seem like the tone that I thought it was going to be." So I really was worried the jury was just going to be so anti Rizzo and Savannah. That did not end up being the case, especially for Savannah. I did have a clip of Savannah's like end stamp to her final speech or her 3-point plan. So I feel like
Hmm.
now would be a good time to at least play that. Um, that I did have it right. Oh no, I think I might have been lying actually. That's not good. Well, I'm sorry about that. But we'll come back to it. I'll probably find it at some point when I least expect it. Okay. Do we want to talk about maybe Sophie and Sage just real quick because they were the only other 2 members of this final 3, and so 2 other S
Yeah.
names I should say, finally it come to fruition. I should have known it was going to end up being 3 names. I'm shocked the other Sophie wasn't in here to begin with too, to really throw things for a loop. But I guess we'll go with Sophie next. Kelly, Sophie, Miami Sophie, Soph, or whatever you wanna name her. She's been through many names, and she's also been through what 12 tribal councils by the end of this
Yeah.
season. Pulling through tonight with that epic comeback in the final immunity challenge, which we'll cover in our other episode recap portion of this. But I want you to know, I know you're a big Sophie fan of friend of the pod as well, but I thought she laid out her story really well in the final tribal council. I think obviously, she's in this trio of Rizzo and Savannah on the bottom, as she said as well in her speeches. Um, and I did feel like her points about saying, like, I was the social player. I was able to be flexible when Savannah and Rizzo couldn't be flexible because people were going after them. And I had to figure out, I had to be this lost puppy to be adopted. All those things. I really liked her story. I thought, if Savannah wasn't the person in that final tribal council, if it was Rizzo instead, I think Sophie has a way better case to possibly win that $1 million, because I don't think Rizzo was getting the love that he thought he was going to get. I could be wrong based off of chat BCC or whatever future comments we get. But what did you think of Kelly Sophie making it all the way to the final three and making a case for herself here at the end?
I mean, I'm glad that she made it. It was very much underdog edit, and winning the last immunity. I I feel good for her. I'm happy that she won. But on the other hand, I kind of wanted Savannah to win because um they were talking about it during the episode. Savannah had reached 4 immunity wins in a single season, which have only been done by a certain amount of women, a few men,
Yep.
but women specifically because men are men. And there have been, I want to say, like 5 um men, only men, who have won 5 individual immunity challenges in a single season. And if Savannah would have won that, she would have been the first woman to do it. And I was just sad about that. It was, which one of them is Colby Donaldson on season 50, um, Ozzy on season 50, uh, Tom Westman, if you know who that is. You probably don't.
I've saw Tom Westman's name already mentioned in chat, so
Oh yeah.
not a
Oh,
shocking name to see now, at least.
okay, yeah. And then Mike Holloway,
Oh,
I think.
yeah, Nick Firmstone coming
Okay,
in with the
Mike
perfect
Holloway.
timing on that too.
And then I think there's one other person. I forgot who though. Anyway,
Yeah, interesting.
but
Sophie.
um, she came in clutch. Is that her hair? Or no, that's just a shadow. Um, I thought that she
What
was
do you
flipping her
mean?
hair. I thought she was flip that shadow in the back, like to the right of her head. I thought that she was flipping
Oh,
her
I
hair,
got you. I
and
got
I was
you.
like, wait. But no, I'm glad that she made it. I feel like it was just assumed. Well, I honestly was surprised that Alex voted for her. I guess she was her advocate, um, at least a little bit in the because well, it's the same as a jury house. Whenever because the place that they go to when they get eliminated is called Ponderosa,
Right.
and they're able to talk with each other and everything like that. Have you seen Ponderosa clips at all, or not really?
I have not seen Ponderosa clips. I
Okay.
know they are a thing.
Yeah, so basically what happens is they get they get a menu and they get weighed and stuff, do mental health check and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then they get taken on a boat to Ponderosa, and then basically everyone is waiting for them and it's like, "Oh, hey." And then they have their food and stuff and then they talk through everything. So, I bet Alex was sort of Sophie's champion in that aspect, and obviously Christina voted for Sophie, which
Yeah.
is funny, but I'm glad that she was there though.
Why is that funny, Zach, that Christina voted for Sophie?
I'm trying to. I'll be
It was a
honest.
normal
I
it
don't.
was a
I don't.
normal tribal with normal Christina questions towards Savannah. Nothing weird happened to solidify Christina's vote as a not going Savannah's way.
I mean, one would say it was definitely an old school type of question. Um, what Christina asked.
Definitely true. I do feel like I need to mention with Sophie though. I do think her biggest downfall, obviously, and she brought it up well enough in this very finale, was the knowledge is power, which
Oh,
you and Nick have laid out to me. The city, not Firmstone, have laid out to me. Never works, or rarely has never worked. Wait, can you
it's
recap
never
to me
worked.
again? Never
It
worked.
has
Okay.
never worked.
And it could not have been more of a layup for Kelly Sophie to then steal Rizzo's idol, like she's even saying in the episode, and watching that episode back, as soon as she admits, her power, her knowledge is power twist to Savannah and Rizzo when they're on the reward meal at the same time as Steven's like outing his power to Christina and Sage. Um, I was like, oh, okay. Well, if she's outing it, she's not going to use it against Rizzo. But it was like, it still got my hopes up that she was going to do it. And her big speech beforehand, and it would have been her move. She talks about like needing to get on 50, it's about resume building. She said it all the time, it felt like. And so for her to just not do that, she felt the disappointment that I think I felt, watching her. And it's just like the icing on the cake of moments where you almost get Rizzo or Savannah out. I guess Sophie's kind of included, but that was her moment. That was her moment to shine, and she had the idol like right in front of her that she knew the entire time. So I am shocked that we didn't have that. I'm shocked we didn't have your theory of it was going to be Christina's idol that was taken with the knowledge is power, and we didn't have any of that. And I'm kind of upset that we didn't. We still got chaos, but it was just like it never really backfired on anybody in
Yeah.
the long run.
And not only, well, see, I've seen people give her a lot of flack and everything like that. Obviously, people are gonna say, you should have taken Rizzo's idol. Yeah, I see, we see it from our standpoint, of course, that she should have taken his idol. But at least I'm looking at it as her, regardless, this is gonna work because Steven does have something. So if I at least get Steven's thing, then at least I have something rather than nothing. And then if I want to go for Rizzo, well, where does that leave me with Savannah? Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
Not that, I mean, obviously though there were the two big targets and everything like that, but still, I'm looking at it from her point of view.
Yeah, and even talking about it, I almost want to gripe more about Christina and Sage's decision than I even want to about Sophie using the knowledge's
Yeah,
power on Steven, because it's
to
like
make it
that was,
unanimous.
yeah, it was also just like maybe that was the icing on the cake, is like not only did this knowledge's power not be used in the way that I thought maybe it probably should have been used, and Steven gets to stay or not have his power taken away from him because he already used it in the first place. But then he just gets voted out anyway. And I saw, Nick, what you said in chat, Firmstone, not the city, saying there's not one idol or advantage was used successfully this entire
Yeah.
season. And that's crazy to me. That is crazy to me with that. How many there
Well,
were. And maybe I felt like there were more because Rizzo threatened one every single week. But
you say that, but here lately in the new era, a lot of I there I forgot which season it was. I want to say it was 48, maybe, obviously one of the 40s. I think it was 46. Not a single idol was used. Same amount of idols were in the game, but none of them were used. Everyone
how do
was
you
voted
feel
out.
about that?
Everyone was voted out with the idol in their pocket, and it's like, I guess it tests a lot to blind sides and everything like that. Yeah, season 46 had 5 consecutive players voted out with an idol in their pocket.
See, okay, that's actually a way more, I think, entertaining way to watch it. That people just keep using it and nothing happens.
Yeah, and
So I'm glad you had that.
no, yeah, I'm. I feel like I feel like that's more of a worse. Which would you rather do? Play an idol wrong or have an idol or get eliminated with idol in your pocket?
Oh, play an idol wrong for sure.
Okay,
Like
yeah. That
1,000 times over.
yeah. And because this is another thing I have with Sophie's thing too, is that what this power that Steven had, that's there's never been a power like that where you have to play it before tribal and it can't be taken away from you before tribal.
Yeah.
Or because you're not, because all the powers have to be used at tribal. You use it at tribal, so it can be taken away at tribal. This is like the
Well, there.
first.
Well, her thing was she thought it was what, a steal a vote when it was a
Yeah.
block a vote, and the steal
And
a vote would have been taken from him if she had used it.
yeah, well, there have been block votes too, but those get played at tribal before
Yeah,
previously. And so it's like I don't I don't fault her too much because this has never really happened before. Like I don't it'd be different if there was something like that before, but it's like if I'm putting myself in her shoes, it's like I wouldn't even think of that. Like
yeah,
if I know he has something and I have a knowledge is power, yeah, I'm going to take it from him. And I'm just like I'm just sitting over there confused. Like, what do you mean? Like, because not only that, no one told him that Sophie was going to do this and everything like that. So it's like, what? What do you mean he doesn't have an advantage? He does. He's lying or something like that. But it's like, yeah,
yeah. Instead, she just turned into just saying like, "Oh, well, I guess he gave it away. I
yeah,
guess it
yeah.
disappeared. I guess it just disappeared like my shoes in the ocean." The shoe bandit. He's back. But okay. Yeah, it's really hard to dog on her for that when she also was in, the most powerful trio in the game. And she was able to make it to that final three spot. I just think that would have been the biggest difference maker if she was able to take that idol right from Rizzo after he threatened to use it for that many tribals in a row. I think that would have been a great not only like resume moment, but just like iconic scene in Survivor history if she was able to pull that off after being his close ally the entire season. But Sophie was still a lot of fun to watch. I'm glad she was the one person that made it out of Calais after all of that. After watching, her struggle to even put a sentence together at the end of that one of the first immunity challenges as everyone on her tribe's getting decimated, and then watching her like make the biggest comeback ever in that immunity challenge, which we'll talk about. God, we're gonna get to that episode at some point. But uh Sage, real quick. It won't be real quick, but I do. Let's talk
Okay.
about Sage. Sage received one vote from Jawan. Member of the Bottoms Up Alliance, probably my favorite alliance of the season, which is what made it so frustrating to watch watch the downfall of it, of course. I really liked Sage. Obviously, I think we loved the Shannon vote. We loved everything about the formation of that vote and the subsequent acting game that they had to play after getting rid of like the first Uli member. And so I had a lot of fun watching Sage this entire season, and I really enjoyed her being like adamantly anti-Savannah because that's what I would probably be if I was on island. It was really nice. I'd probably also be anti-Shannon a bit, or at least it was fun watching her be like the Two-Face with
Mhm.
Shannon. And so going from that, it was like watching watching Jawan go and watching her reaction to that, how broken she was, how hurt she was, how personal that she took it, to then get revenge on Sophie, whatever. And but then vote out Steven. It didn't make any sense to me. It didn't make any sense for me as her character arc. I don't think it obviously didn't make any sense to Steven, and when it came down to the vote. And so I'm so disappointed with how Sage ended this year and how back and forth she went from being so anti Savannah and Rizzo to voting out Steven, when she didn't really have to. Like she could have put up the fight and she just didn't and tried to make it make sense when I don't think it ever made sense for her. So I'm really disappointed how Sage ended this in this season, but a good character to watch. Almost on Big Brother, so we almost saw Sage on Big Brother instead of
Yeah.
Survivor. But what did you think of Sage?
I I feel like her final tribal council especially did not help her. Um, she was very she was very defensive of like just basically like um not it wasn't that she really wasn't owning her game, and she also was just giving reasons, and like, because obviously you're supposed to explain. It's hard to. She was like, she was coming up with reasons and everything like that for everything that she did, and it's like there's a certain point where yeah, you have to do that, but you also have to acknowledge like there's a certain level where it's like the jury feels this, the jury sees it this way, and you're not going to be able to change that right now unless it's like something like major or something that doesn't have a lot of emotional implications. And if she was emotionally making certain players feel a certain way, um, it's really hard to combat that, especially at Final Tribal. Uh, so I kind of felt bad for her because like these quote unquote reunions or after shows or whatever are not great. Because literally she's over here crying, and then you have
Yeah,
Savannah over
yeah.
here with $1 million, and then you have Rizzo over here laughing, and then Jawan just spilling champagne all over himself, and it's like there's so many things going on, and it's like
Yeah, it's that, and I didn't think that was even needed to be a topic yet, but did you bring up such a good point? They had that after show. They brought up Sage, and she starts crying because she felt like she really hurt, the people in this game, that she ended up having to vote out, or in her words, in her speech, everyone that I got out, including Sophie, the unanimous vote. But I loved how they all laughed at that. Somebody was like, everybody voted for me though, right? Just so we're all
yeah,
clear. Everybody wanted me out from like day -1 in this game,
yeah.
for whatever reason. And so yeah, they brought that up and she starts crying. Everyone's just like, Sage, we love you. It's a game. And I just hate that that has to also be like broadcasted to the world, because like you're right, it is everyone just like you see them reform the tribal council into like the makeshift stage, and they talk about the game, and they're all eating pizza and drinking while three people, one of them now a millionaire, but the other two aren't a millionaire, and they just went through this traumatic experience while everyone else has had it like at least a day to think about it, in Ponderosa, or if they've gotten voted out of the game already. So it's very
But even
weird that that's how it immediately goes post show.
But even a day, like, and whenever there's a normal reunion, they at least get like 5 or 6 months, give or take, before they actually have to get back in front of people again. So,
Yeah.
and that's at least with enough food and, going to therapy if needed. So it's definitely that's one of the issues a lot of people have with the immediate after show, because there have been quite a few times where like there was this one time where one guy got a landslide vote because the jury was bitter against two other people, and the two other people the whole show were just like, we don't know what we did wrong," and like they really couldn't explain it or anything like that, so it was just like very weird feeling. And not only that, all the viewers were like, how did this guy win? Like, we don't even know. So like, because we were as lost as they were. And then there was another time where it came down to like a 5-4 vote or something, and one guy's closest ally did not even vote for him to win, and that was the deciding vote because she quote unquote felt like the other person played harder, even though she was just mad that her ally got her out pretty much to win the game. So, and he's just over here dealing with that and just being like, I don't know how to feel about it. I haven't even talked to her, and she didn't even want me to win. She was saying that I'm going to be the nephew to her sons, or I was going to be the uncle to her sons. And it's just like, I don't,
Sorry, I just you said nephew to her son, so that was really
yeah, the
funny.
nephew
Yeah, there'd be sorry, that's a crazy thing to promise someone though.
yeah.
Um uh, yeah, I would hate that. I'm just thinking, of course, everything we do, I just go back to Big Brother because I've watched so many of those finales too. But like the way that they just end the show, it's confetti. Here's one quick hit on camera. End of show. Everyone gets their debrief. Everyone
Am I
gets their
racist?
Everyone gets their moment to ask everyone if they were racist, and then everyone gets their therapy, and then everyone, it just kind of like you don't see, and then you see Vince pop up in like a The Sun video like 2 weeks later. Like that's about the trajectory it feels like it should go. Whereas this is just like, let's all talk about everything that we did for the past month. I know this was all a lot and probably the craziest moment in your life. But let's unpack that. People who just realized that they hurt people's feelings and lost $1 million on top of all that. Uh, Very strange.
without people from the pre-jury because they don't matter.
I know we got an update on Jake. He did make it to the birth of his son, so
Imagine that they're like, we can't tell you, and then they're just like, did he die?
it's not good.
Yeah, it's not great.
They're saying they've never seen the
So a
bite
million
drier.
dollars.
So, anyways, we were talking about Sage. I think was our point still.
Yeah,
But yeah, her speeches didn't really seem to ream back to anything that was anything more impressive than Savannah. I do think she had points at the beginning. I do think she had moments where she was persuasive. I think she could have even said Shannon was a persuasive moment, and maybe could have avoided the entire jury like saying no, you didn't. She could have at least had something. It felt like it could have been a little bit better, even though it was forever
that's
ago. I don't know, but like
that's what
she
I
did
felt
have to
like.
rebound. She did have a good story, and I don't feel like she was able to say that. Instead, she got to follow Sophie and Savannah and just do the whole thing where she was like, "Oh, well, now I have to follow up those speeches. I don't feel great." And then, yeah,
And that's another thing too. It's like you don't want to. She's already propping up the other two people because it's like, yeah, you don't want to like shit talk them or anything and like being like, those are the worst speeches ever. But just saying like, oh, it's hard to follow that up. It's like, well, you're
yeah.
already making it look better than yours. So let's just not.
That's what Mackenzie did with Chelsea and BB26, that finale. If you remember, Chelsea was ready, because she was
Yeah.
trying to convince Mackenzie like for the week. She's like, "Yo, you don't have to prepare a speech. You
Yeah.
don't have
And then
to
Mackenzie's like,
worry about all that."
it's hard to follow that up.
Yeah.
uh,
So yeah, it did feel like that. That's a really good point. Yeah. It makes always heightens everybody else.
yeah. And I feel like she had a good, strong, like, because it was interesting because there's, of course, this is in Big Brother 2. There's usually like this was in older seasons typically, but it's like, who needs the money more? And it's like, the game has evolved to a point where it's like, yeah, it can play somewhat of a factor if it gets down to the nitty gritty details. But most of the time, it's just like whoever plays the best game. And like it was interesting to have Jawan like even ask that. It was because I feel like Jawan opening up with that, like Sage talking about it and everything, like, yeah, it's an emotional play and everything like that, but it's truth. It's a way to make her feel vulnerable and stuff. And as we
Hmm.
can see with Savannah, some personal things apparently did not resonate with Christina.
No, no, but she knows Jawan loves his family. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I had another point about Sage that I was gonna say. Oh yeah, there was another. She tied like her military background into her speeches as well, and she
Mhm.
like did, especially with Steven's answer. She was like, and I tried to, as an analyst, I tried to figure out who was my next enemy, and I was like, it sounded so rehearsed that it didn't make it sound genuine at all, which is kind of what Steven was wanting. That's like the only thing I think he wanted from that answer.
A Big Brother
And
intro package.
yes, okay, no, it was very Big Brother. That is like, I've got to drop this big bombshell. Does Survivor also have the Bronte mathematician type of people? I was thinking like with Christina, the way that they were talking about her fire making skills, I was like, this is how Bronte thought that people would talk about her mathematician skills on Big Brother.
There have been a few people like that. Like oh my gosh. Um Let me look up this person real quick.
Also, I
Be-
believe Nick first already brought up the I can't ever remember the BB-18 Alliance name,
okay.
the
Oh,
Spy
Spy
Girls.
Girls. Yeah. So you know who Gary Hogaboom is, right?
No. Can you use that in a sentence?
Okay, Gary Hogaboom was like a former like NFL quarterback for like the Cowboys, Colts, Cardinals, like a bunch of
Okay.
people like that. So like he was like a quote unquote big deal. Well, he decided to go buy Gary Hawkins, and he owned a landscaping business. And he went to the same. He said he went to the same university as Gary Hugaboom, but he had no idea who he was, and he didn't know any sports. And one of the people on the cast, Danny Boatwright, was a sports broadcaster. So she
Okay.
automatically knew who he was, like right off the bat, but he just kept on
Yeah.
lying the whole time. So there've been a few people like that. Like there was one person who lied and said he was actually 21 or 22, but he said he was 25. Um they didn't really come up at all. Like he
Yeah,
said,
I
"Yeah, I'm
don't know
25."
why. I don't know why that would come up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or like there's no way you really need to prove it. You're just yeah, it seems kind of unnecessary. Okay.
So they
Cool.
nothing as dramatic or anything like that. There have been a few people who like, well, there have been a few people, ironically, that hide that they're lawyers.
Of
uh,
course. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like, it's just interesting in that aspect. But um, I don't think there's any like big major ones. There is. Do you know who Lisa Welchel is?
I do not know who Lisa Welchel is.
She was on Days of Our Lives. I don't know, some like soap opera. She was a big
Okay.
um she was like a big TV star whenever she was a teenager, and she came and played the game, and then no one really knew who she was until during Final Tribal Council. They were like, "Well, she was a famous actress and stuff, so she's well off. She doesn't need the money, so don't factor that into your decision." And then she was, but a bunch of things like that. So like, yeah, there were some things, but nothing like major. I don't think nothing like, oh my gosh, uh, you were on Buddy Games. We got to get you. We're not
You're
gonna vote
Josh
for you.
Duhamel. I know you
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Wait, it's a
So
cardboard cutout. Okay.
yeah,
I thought that was the real thing for a second.
like Mike. Everyone knew who Mike White was, so
Of
it wasn't
course. Yeah.
that wasn't a big deal. So
And all you got to do is watch Survivor 50 to find out who Mike White is if you didn't already,
yeah,
or like other things. There's a lot of things you can watch. Okay. We probably should just get to the episode now. Now that we've talked
okay.
about the three finalists for 40 minutes, probably. But uh, that'll probably mean we speed more through this, though. Okay. All right. So this episode begins, and I'm gonna pull up my notes for this exactly because otherwise I ain't gonna remember. But Sage starts off this episode saying she's playing for herself, you know. Uh Rizzo got the clown music for talking about his idol move last week. His wait, I get his idol moves mixed up. Last week was his fake idol, correct? And not
Yeah.
his I'm just gonna pretend to walk up and do it and then not do it,
I
or I'm just gonna reach for it in my pocket and then not do it, or
I think
um
last week was the fake.
okay, last
I
week was the
think,
fake one.
and
Um,
then yeah.
I can roll with that. But he got the clown
Whatever.
music
Regardless,
behind
he
him.
did not play the idol.
No. Um, thank you, Nick City.
Okay.
Not to be
Last
confused
week
with
was
Nick
the
Firmstone. But that's when my first moment where I was like, okay, not looking good for Rizzo, even if he does make it to final three or not here. But then we get to our advantage little moment here where they got to find the different color coded bags, make the puzzle. They all get out into the woods to search for this advantage. Everyone's digging until the fake idol was the Jawan vote. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Rizzo threw me
okay.
for a loop with all of his idol shenanigans.
Well,
Uh,
one thing I did want to say about that before we get, I thought that that was at least a good move. Him saying that it expired at 6, whenever it actually does expire at 5.
Yes, I forgot that added element to it as well.
Yeah.
Which was Sophie claimed that this was her idea though, right? I'm so confused on who to credit for what thing after a Survivor episode airs.
I
But
could see Rizzo saying it, but then I don't know. Maybe Sophie did. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, either way, I don't blame him either. I think anyone who is confident enough to just do like just pretend they have an idol or to threaten with an idol, and if they keep making it through, that's the other, that's everyone else's fault. That's how I think of it. So I didn't blame him for doing it. I think it's kind of dumb to do it in the way that he did it, but he was gifted just a cast that seemingly did not want to counteract it at all, which good for him. I don't know if he can do that on every season of Survivor. He certainly cannot do that on 50. I definitely can't do that on 50,
I don't
but
know. No one's ever seen it done before.
okay, let him go do it. This was like kind of like, I'm very limited in my scope of Survivor references. This is kind of like Russell Hantz, but if Russell Hantz never found a second idol.
Yeah. I mean, it
It's
also.
not a good comparison, I don't think.
I mean, well, yeah, because Russell Hantz played a season before a monumental season and got cast on the season before his season even aired, and
Oh,
he didn't win
making me make
his.
sense now.
Yeah, so
Uh,
you're
okay.
coming you're coming on your own.
Yeah, we'll cover Rizzo more. I'll say that. But this, long story short, Sophie finds this advantage. The advantage itself was just literally like being able to go up the ladder in the immunity challenge a little bit faster than everybody else. It was like it wasn't skipping the mud, it wasn't skipping the like reeling in the ball, it wasn't skipping the throwing the ball to connect or with the rope to pull it down, it wasn't skipping the barrel. I think this was all a part of this. I can't remember what
Yeah,
all. I think this was also when Christina like died on the slide. But
yeah.
what was
It
this
was relay
advantage
race
though?
basically. The
Yeah.
Rizzo the advantage that Sophie got. I
No,
think
I mean
that
I meant more so just like why was this an advantage for anyone
oh,
involved?
it was supposed to be, but Sophie didn't go fast enough. But
I
then
guess
again,
not.
I also think that it's Final Five. I don't think they should be doing advantages or anything like that. There's already an idol in there, so why? But Survivors wants to Survivor, and let's all do a puzzle and have everyone dig around, and then Rizzo can copy people again.
Yeah, if there was anything that was consistent, it was Rizzo copying he copied people's puzzles during this portion for the advantage itself, and then in this immunity challenge, and then I'm gonna skip ahead. But in the next immunity challenge, he also was looking at everyone's puzzles at the very end too, or it was just Sophie's. But it's
I
just
mean,
yeah,
even that one, I do not understand unless he's like, I don't know, like just can't hold still or something. Like you cannot tell me that you can't put together that type of. It's literally just like a cut up puzzle. You literally just have to put it in place.
it's still hot outside, Zach. It's
It's the
Fiji.
hottest season, yeah,
It's the
ever.
hottest summer they've ever had. It's the hottest summer on record in Survivor, okay? You
Global
gotta,
warming.
yes. I feel like Survivor somehow contributes to it. So, but, you know, whatever. Make your show. I'm here talking about him. But this immunity challenge, I wrote down the end of it was when Jeff was just like hyping up Savannah for like a minute, where he was just sitting there like Savannah gets another piece, Savannah gets another piece, Savannah gets another piece,
And then
and
everyone else
Savannah
just stops.
yes, and they're all like and then I think Jeff, that's when he went on to be like, only 5 women have ever done this in Survivor history. It's just like, imagine Jeff narrating like your victory like that. It's just what a dream. And on top of that, I guess on the opposite, like I would hate for Jeff to narrate my demise during a competition. Just be like, what a disaster of epic proportions, the worst I've ever seen on Survivor. I feel like that's what I would get more of. But it was cool for Savannah to have this moment.
Rizzo trying
that
and
was a
failing.
tried something really cool. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Didn't work out. I think I do actually have this clip of Savannah cruising through this immunity challenge at the very end. And when I say that, I'm not lying this time. So I will pull it up. We'll have our first clip of the entire pod. Lying. You can't hear it, right? I'm not embarrassing
No, I
myself.
can't.
Oh,
I
you
can't.
can't? Oh, no. Well, everyone, we just took a dramatic pause. Hold on. Let me try it again. One more time.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
It says it's sharing the audio. You're telling me this isn't playing?
Individual immunity win.
Now it is.
Okay.
Savannah with another piece. This is Savannah's right now to win or lose. There's another piece for Savannah. Savannah is closing in on Survivor history.
They literally just like took all of Jeff's slides for Savannah and just said, just put them all together. Just like put them back to back to back to back. No space in between. But yeah, just another dominant win. And it just like the mud that was on everyone's face during the puzzle portion and like the way that it got on Savannah's eyes was definitely sold the moment too.
Yeah, so for women, the 5 women who have 4 individual immunity wins are Kelly Wigglesworth, Jenna Maraska, Kim Spradlin, Chrissy Hoffenbach on season 50, and Rachel Lamont on season 47, but she did not make it on 50 for some reason. But
Yeah, we got a listing of names between this challenge, I feel like, and the next one, and then just I feel like online during all of that. I saw all the screenshots and I see Nick Firmstone said sad Savannah didn't do the iconic Michelle Fitzgerald puzzle kick.
mhm.
Even though it's not a tower puzzle, good clarification. I do know that reference, which is
Oh
what I
yeah,
say when every time I have to. But yeah, Christina almost died on the slide and then being like, I'm good immediately when she was not. Like,
yeah,
you're
and then
lying to
dying
me.
on the barrel
Yes, falling
shuffle.
off the barrel roll.
Oh,
And
roll, yeah.
then yeah, Sophie not doing great, being taken forever in the mud. But yeah, so we have this immunity challenge. We have the reward, which Savannah took Sage. We have like just everyone breaking off, being like, is it gonna be Christina or is it gonna be Sage? Um,
They're not
and
able to get
then
clean before the food either.
well, no, and I mean I get it. I mean, look at the screenshot. Why would you not do that? Colton saying Christina looked like she broke both of her legs. Yes, it looked
Yeah,
bad. It looked awful. Um,
I hurt.
mhm. Okay. So we had this where we're talking about who to get rid of, Christina or Sage. The argument for getting rid of Christina is literally that she's good at making fire, and we get like this crazy edit where it's just Christina throughout the entire season just making fire, and it might be one of my favorite clips from the entire season, to be honest, because nobody else wanted to give Christina a hardcore edit until it was about fire. So but also it just
They
speaks to
were,
Christina that her big skill is fire making when she didn't really like doing anything else on Survivor, but it's just like she has such a badass skill that she's so threatening with when it coming near the end of the game. But yeah.
which also is like, well, you should have not shown that to people. Maybe you should have just been like, I don't know how to do it. It's tough. And instead, it's just Survivor was waiting on that edit. They were like, "We got something good for y'all. Christina lovers are gonna like it."
They probably yeah. Imagine if the epic like highlight reel they would have had for her going into an actual fire. If she if she would have gotten that far, if they'd given her the opportunity. I would have loved it. The panic on
Mm.
everyone while Christina sets up puts a fire up in 5 seconds flat. um
Christina starts an inferno.
the whole the fire ship goes down because Christina started way too good of a fire. Would be great. A great end to the season. Um, yeah. So we have this conversation. What do you get frustrated when because I got a little bit frustrated that like Christina's arc got kind of just died out because she's good at making fire, and that's was the decision making going into this. Like why is that the end for Christina here?
I mean, I guess I can, looking at an audience standpoint, to kind of have to simplify it to just that. I do feel like that she was a jury threat more so than anything. I feel like
Okay.
that was the main thing, honestly. Like, but I feel like it didn't help her case that she was also really good at fire. So,
Yes, yeah. Which yeah, the way that they sold the fire element was crazy to me. But the thing was, when it came to votes, I was like, with Sage and Christina, I could see either one potentially at that point. Christina with a little bit more love. I mean, she was from OG Hina, but
mhm.
yeah, I feel like Christina just played a great social game and was, or at the very least, was well liked by everyone else. So I feel like she did have a case to make, and I was getting a little bit worried about that at that point in the episode because I was like, could she accidentally sneak in here if everything works out right and everyone's just bitter enough towards Rizzo and Savannah or just not impressed with them?
Well,
Um,
I'm even also thinking about it from a Savannah standpoint of like, because not only are you like trying to get Christina out, it's just like, well, she just took um Sage to dinner or to get food and then, like, to make sure like, yeah, we're locked in, we're doing Christina, and then she's not going to want to blindside her right after that because that's just not going to be good for jury management.
No, I don't think so either. I did agree with getting Christina out here. To be fair, like I mean, between Christina and Sage, I mean, knowing the options, knowing how the votes were gonna come down. Obviously, I'm sitting here like, what if we got rid of? What if we had a
Mhm.
crazy vote? But knowing that it was never gonna change, I think Christina probably was the right move here. I mean, Christina was like probably so many rounds too late than what we thought when we thought Christina was going to get out of here, because the edit for Christina this year, I don't know if this is really what you see, Zach, but it's just Christina for some reason kept getting the I'm bad at everything. I'm scared of birds. I fall out of hammocks. I can't find immunity idols under benches. I get scared of everything. And then you have these really you have these moments where you learn more about her family, her mom. You have that or you have that moment in episode 10 before the challenge where she really breaks down. And then on top of that, she found an immunity idol and used it to not even save herself. Which I mean, it was the episode where she was like, "I kind of want to go home," so maybe I don't
Mhm.
know how much that had to do with it. But Christina was a character that stayed way too long, and that sounds mean. I really do like Christina; she seems lovely. But it did seem like she just wasn't into the game at points. And I really do love that she seemed to scheme and plot more towards the end. Um, I kind of wish I would have seen like a final tribal speech from Christina, but um, yeah. What did you think of Christina on this season? I feel like I had other notes real quick.
I feel like she was a very endearing character. Like it's like I felt bad. I felt like at times she was just too nice for Survivor, and it's just like, and then other times it's like I could see her wanting to be a good Survivor player, but it just like wasn't fully coming out. And the Uncle Jeff stuff, like it started to like it started to grow on me a bit, and then I felt kind of sad with like she was really trying, and I'm not going to fault her. She was trying to make moves and stuff like that. It just sucks that nothing really panned out for her. And like she just got outplayed. And, you know, it also isn't her fault, too, that there were some other moves that other people just wanted to do instead and stuff. So it's just,
Yeah, it should also be noted that Christina did not go to a tribal council until jury. I'm pretty sure. I think Nate was the first vote that she actually was in a tribal council. So there is something to be said for that as Zach goes into the shadows. But um so there can be something said for that. And then also I just loved her random moments where she just like fought Savannah. Like that one tribal council where they were like, it's a love-hate relationship. Well, not love, well hate, well, it's not
yeah.
just strong dislike. which did you told me was planned.
So they were so according to I think Savannah or something, like they were planning on um they planned on having that type of like dynamic a bit so they could play up the fact that they were for sure voting for each other
Yeah,
for looks for Sophie, I believe. I believe that was Sophie Tribal.
yeah.
Sophie.
As I said, they would they would have
Yeah.
done that for Steven because they like Steven too
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
which is like something I need to talk about with Sophie. I feel like for sure.
And but I think that the part where she was whatever she said, hey, that wasn't planned. So it was just like, oh. So yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. I mean, I wasn't gonna lose sleep over finding out that information, but it is just nice to know before I got too in the weeds about Christina. But that is one of my favorite Christina moments too, as well as her final tribal council question, which we honestly maybe I should just play that now because I feel like we talked about enough about final tribal council anyway. Um, Christina's question. I'm so excited.
My question is for you, Savannah.
Why?
For me, I prioritize a social game. And it kind of felt like at times that you really did not genuinely care to get to know people personally that weren't in your trio alliance. And so I would like for you to please name one family member or partner of everybody on the jury.
That smile is wild, Christina.
Okay. I don't think I can do that.
We didn't
First of
pause
all,
it. That was that was
yeah, that was it. Okay. I do. First of all, I'm gonna ask you, what are your thoughts on this question?
it's definitely very old school Survivor. It's like you say you have the social game, but like, do you even remember anything about me? Uh, so like it is. I thought it was funny because I mean, obviously she didn't know much. It's like, I think you have a partner. Her
Yeah.
name
Or
is.
I can't. It was probably Nick of above who it said the part where to Jawan, where she was, or not Jawan, to Christina, she was like, I know you're a mother of two, and I know I just yelled their names to you in that challenge." It's like, oh my God, Savannah, why would don't even say that part? But you
Mhm.
could have just left it at mother of two. But what wild. I like I don't even know if I would have been defensive about it if I truly didn't know. I'd been like, this is a ridiculous question, Christina. How dare you? But I do
Yeah.
feel like Savannah did her best with it for being asked it and not knowing. And that's probably as good as I can say because she did attempt it, which probably, and I don't even know how the jury felt about this question. They could have been like, Christina, you're really going to ask Savannah that. But uh, yes, Savannah should have said Christina has an Uncle Jeff. Yes,
Oh yeah.
perfect.
that, I wonder if Christina would have voted for her then.
Yeah, so I don't. This question was very entertaining, very entertaining. Um, and apparently Savannah did not answer it to the degree that Christina wanted her to.
And I also feel like she was never gonna do it either. She was.
Also, no.
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny, and I was also. I feel like I'm very bad with names, so like I'll remember your life story. I won't remember your mom's name more than likely if you tell me like once, because I'm just like, oh yeah, your mom. Yeah, I remember you like ran away from her when you were little or something, like like things like that. Like I remember the gist of it, but I'm not gonna remember her name was Beth or something.
Yeah. Did you notice Sophie was like mouthing the words
Yeah,
too? Just to
she was like,
like she was doing it in the direction of them. She'd be like, I know, I know.
yeah. But then I also would have been like, uh, I would have also been like, but well, because I also because I I wouldn't if I were her, I would have just tried and everything like that. But in my the back of my mind, I'm just like, well, I'm trying to learn about you. I'm not going to be as trivial as making sure to remember each and everything. I like to be genuine with people and not just force myself to remember names and things like that. But yeah, of people that I've never met either. So
Yeah, it's one thing not to be able to even like put a name to a face too. I'm sure that's difficult, but also just being out in the elements of Survivor for a
yeah,
month. I'm sure I would assume though that the Christina also asked that because she was confident she could name a name for everybody. I can't imagine she wouldn't have asked that if she didn't also know the names of at least one person that was a family member. So, yeah, I can't blame her for asking that question if she really felt like, especially since Christina was a social, more of a social player, at least someone that was not winning all of the competitions, and still staying in this game. And her personality definitely was part of that. So I'm sure she was just like, yeah, I put in this work. You didn't put in that work. I'm going to expose you for it. So I have to respect that element of the question,
yeah.
even though it was
Which
crazy.
which one thing for sure, which Nick was talking about, I thought Sophie did really good on her question about like one of the biggest things. She was like, they were on the bottom. I was only on the bottom because of them. I was not on the bottom because of myself. And I'm just like, and everyone else was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. You weren't on the bottom, they were."
Yeah, yeah. And I think I wonder if part of Alex's voting for her had to do with the fact that he probably wanted to be in that position that she was in coming out of Calais, kept being that disaster tribe, because Alex certainly found his own way and was able to like avoid tribal far more than Sophie was after that first swap. Um, but of course, like Alex's way of communicating with people just came off as way too middle of the ground, whereas Sophie was able to have that middle ground, but then quickly latch on to other people, whereas Alex was just kind of left flailing, and the perfect target for a cast that doesn't want to target Savannah and Rizzo. So I don't know how we got from Christina to this, but we did.
uh, well, I was just comparing that to like the way Savannah answered some questions and stuff.
Oh
There were
yeah,
some
yeah.
other questions. I feel like out of everyone, obviously Sage is like below, and then Savannah was in the middle, like doing decent, but obviously I feel like Christina's was just like, ooh, that's not a good look. And then Sophie's was pretty good, but I feel like some people just had their minds made up going into it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. I don't think I feel like for the most part you could count the votes for Savannah, or at least predict a Savannah win, even just going into that final three and come out of it correct. So that's probably enough. Um, let's go forward in the episode more. We have our next immunity challenge. This is the one where Sophie had her epic comeback, defeating the Kelly curse. The curse of the dry by it, and winning this final immunity and securing her spot in the final three. This was an interesting challenge. We had to like, you had to dig the sand out. You had to walk on the tightrope, get your little big I just kept thinking they were like wooden spoons,
Yeah.
and get that ball up to the top and use the two, or make the puzzle, use those two balls to guide their way to the holes. That was a horrible way of describing it. Anyway, Sophie won. Come
You
back
s-
in the entire time, beat Savannah out. Jeff was about to start another narration of like, Savannah, the first person to win five, or first woman to win five immunity challenges since whatever. Like, but then Sophie won. So,
yeah, and I mean props to her. She needed it because
oh
I
yeah,
feel like obviously Savannah picks well, I feel like Savannah does pick Rizzo and then sends Sophie. Does she though?
it's the thing is, Savannah was so offended by Sophie just
Not
being like,
even.
yeah, not even wanted to hear. I think Savannah still could have put Sophie in there, but I think from what it seemed like, she was just like, you don't even want to hear my case. Like, You don't even
Yeah.
want to hear me out about this. You're just gonna throw me. Just gonna consider it on your own without even hearing me out as your number one ally. So I think that was more so. I still think Savannah could have easily thrown Sophie in, but I don't
Wait,
know.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a
I see what you
fire
mean. Yeah, yeah.
to the competition, not into an actual fire.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not legal. You can't do that. Christina's fire will destruct the the entirety of Fiji, but
Yeah, usually for this challenge it's a Samotion. Have you ever seen that one before?
Samotion is like the balls that keep going
Mm-hmm.
down. And yeah, I remember watching that on 40.
Yeah, and they're like, and then at a 10-minute interval, we'll add another ball.
Yeah.
It'll be more complicated, and then the gate will flip back and forth. It's
Yep.
your mind will start to wander. And being out here for 38 days, you're dehydrated, your your vision's getting blurry. Do you think you can keep track of all of these balls just spinning around and around,
Did
just
we
like
talk
this
about
game?
did we talk about the tattoo? And I know we
Oh,
talked about it before. Did we talk about it on this
no,
yet?
no, we didn't. No.
I hate that I didn't bring up the tattoo the thing that Jeff brought up at the very beginning of the show, where he was like, "This season was like like a permanent tattoo with loyalties to your tribe, but you like it like a tattoo when it's not permanent anymore." That tattoo became temporary tattoo whenever we hit merge, and everyone started bouncing around and picking their own sides like a tattoo. That's what I heard, at least at the beginning of the
pretty,
show.
pretty much. And it's just like, why are we talking about tattoos of all things? Like,
He's been thinking about tattoos this week.
he doesn't even have one.
He's thinking about one. That's why. It was
he
because
gets
Survivor 49 was so much like a tattoo that he's like, I gotta get a tattoo like Survivor 49.
he gets his Survivor 50 tattoo. He's like,
That's offensive to everybody on Survivor 49.
in the hands of the fans, because he's looking forward to 50. He's like, have to get through this one time, and then I can get to the
Ugh.
one I really want to do.
One more season till Mr. Beast. One more season.
Yeah.
And finally, we can have him on the island, just like everyone's at, in the hands of the fans and celebrities, apparently.
Yeah.
Whatever that's gonna mean.
Julie Chen's power of veto.
No, I mean, this feels like a CBS show crossover that they're doing, but it's on Survivor 50 and it's Mr. Beast. I don't need to get on a soapbox about this probably right now, but like
But,
that was crazy to throw into a Survivor 50 trailer
yeah.
to end
But
the whole season. Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, the analogy, like it's like a temporary tattoo, like a he didn't say this, so I was like a henna tattoo, like it's just kind of there for a
Yeah.
little bit, and then you get like ink poisoning for a bit, and then like it gets infected, and then you're like, oh, I forgot that I got that.
It was just a dry tattoo.
Yeah, and I was just like, why are we doing this? And then he was just like, yeah, we got things happening, and then let's see who's gonna win, and we also have a sneak peek of Survivor 50.
Yeah, we did. Well, maybe I can find that clip too at the end of this. I don't want to show it right now though.
Oh, they're also hidden immunity idols in the
All
United
over the
States.
country.
Yeah. I guess they'll be hidden in 42 days, give or take.
Check under your chair, everyone. There might be a hidden immunity idol. Yeah, check your
in Rizzo's
trees.
pocket.
Yeah, Rizzo's.
Rizzo goes to every state, and everyone has to find him. He's like, the boy who cried idol.
That is what he said. It was finally. Did you think that he wasn't going to use it for a second? I know we're not at that current one, but did you think he was just going to still not use it just because he wasn't going to get any votes anyway?
It would have been funny. Because quite honestly, I'm like, does he use it for Chris? He doesn't. He probably wasn't even thinking about it, but because they have to be like, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should, and it's like you're not going to.
Yeah, I already know you're not.
Yeah. But I think it would have been fun. It would have been a good keepsake
It would
because
have. He could have. Yeah, he could have used it on 50.
yeah, because I believe if they play it, they don't get it. It gets sold off to like an auction. But if they don't play it and keep it throughout the whole season, then they get to keep it
Huh,
postseason.
like a putt ball.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Uh, that's great. What was I talking about with Rizzo? I guess we can just talk about Rizzo in general, because that is the next thing that happens. The fire making. Savannah and Rizzo are thrown in to the fire making competition. I thought the correct choice by Sophie. Did you think Savannah and Rizzo being thrown in was correct by her?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know how good Sage would have been at fire, I guess, because I feel like ultimately if she would have taken Rizzo, I feel like that doesn't give Rizzo any type of move if he does happen to vanquish Savannah.
Yeah.
Um and Rizzo's just kind of there. And then Sage, she wasn't doing great in Final Tribal Council anyway, so if she did win, it wouldn't give her much. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay. I thought this was the right move. I mean, I think you got to just get one more chance to get rid of Savannah because bringing her is not going to help your case regardless. So you're automatically not going to bring her in, which means you're throwing her into fire. You might as well throw Rizzo in there too. I
Yeah.
mean, like it just doesn't. It seemed like the clear option for me. So I was glad she did that, and I was only worried because of the last episode at Tribal when I was kind of like, oh, you didn't do the thing that I think you probably should have done, but. Uh, Okay, cool. So Rizzo was vanquished. The Riz god came and went. Rizzo, of course, through 9 tribals, had this dumbass idol that he would just never play, and we were forced to watch every cast member just let him do it time and time and time and time again, um, until this very tribal. Well, I mean, last tribal before this when he was able to finally use it. But then we finally saw him eliminated in this next one. And I was really just stalling because I was pulling up the clip where he asked Jeff to give him his nickname when he put out his torch. And we had this moment.
Where's God? The tribe has spoken.
Great. Great.
I'm just imagining Jeff being like, wait, what?
He just didn't know at all. No. I loved the reveal of the Riz God nickname. I loved the reaction to everyone. I said to you, I think it would have been even better if Jeff just did it. I kind of wish Rizzo hadn't even prompted him. It would just walk up, Jeff just says Riz God, as if that is his legal name at that point. But he would
And then
never do
everyone
that.
else. That's. Oh, I wonder. I remember we talked about like that's his final tribal council reveal. What you didn't know was I'm actually Riz God.
He was waiting for that speech at the very end. I was envisioning a Rizzo speech in the final 3 where he brought up his nickname, and everyone voted unanimously against him for it. So I hate that I was robbed of that moment. But Rizzo was a
Maybe
very
50.
entertaining figure. Yeah, possibly. Oh, that's true. We have another chance. Nobody knows who Riz God is on 50
Yeah.
besides Savannah. So
She outs him. He's like, Riz God, that's his name. It's like Voldemort. Like you or Beetlejuice, if you say it 3 times, he disappears.
he's just like this mythical figure that they get news about the entire 50 cast from this
Mhm.
one dude. It's just from season 49 and he shows up.
The Riz God boomerang twist.
Yes. I can't wait. Yeah, maybe we'll get more sudden split tribals and splitting up the challenge by gender and try to keep Savannah and Rizzo in this game even longer on 50. Please, I beg of you. I'm
Mhm.
just kidding. Do whatever you want 50 with Mr. Beast or Jimmy Fallon or whoever's going to show up.
There was a
Okay.
Tyler Perry idol once.
There was?
This was on Kagiyan, yeah.
For what? For is it promoting a movie or?
Tyler Perry was just a fan of Survivor, and it was the Tyler Perry idol.
Okay. How
And
would
it
it
could
compete? Who would win in a fight, the Tyler Perry idol or the Billie Eilish Boomerang idol?
um probably the Tyler, because the Tyler Perry idol can be played after the votes are read.
What? The
Yeah.
Tyler Perry idol can be used after the votes are read?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
What is this
uh
show?
Tony, you know Tony, right?
Yes, I know about the Super Idol.
Okay, well, Tony had that idol, and I feel like it was just indicative of like because he had an extra life with it. So of course he was playing so risky because it's like if he gets voted out, he has that idol. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
No, I mean it's a style of play that I do respect, and I do respect Rizzo's style of play this season. I could never replicate it. Like I could, that is not how I would play the game of Survivor. But I think this is also a good opportunity to talk about Rizzo as a whole because, like, coming into this, I knew he was on 50, so I didn't know what to expect from him on this season. So watching him do this like weird like song and dance every single tribal that he could, to play the idol, to not play the idol, and a game for $1 million, week or not week after week, but every tribal council that he's going to, and playing these mind games. Not that I think it would have worked out for him at the end, but it was very fun to watch.
what?
Yeah. And I think also his gamifying, just being able to cheat on everyone's puzzles because he knew he wasn't good at it. Like, I love stuff like that. I love breaking games in a way. And it seemed like he was searching for those opportunities. And it's so easy to see how someone like Jeff Probst would want someone like that on, the next season as well, especially with how far he got doing all of it. So I want to know your thoughts more on Rizzo this season, and specifically the strategy that he took at tribal councils with all that. Not to take away from his other strategic mindset in the game itself, because he had those moments.
I mean, I enjoyed him. I honestly, whenever I first whenever we first saw him on season 48 in the preview, it was like, I'm the Riz God, baby. Rizgod. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, who is this? And I just know he's gonna be cringy. Like, I thought he was gonna be like the cringy super fan type thing, and it's just like he's gonna be like put in our face so much, and he's just gonna be so like all up in Jeff's face and just like, oh my gosh, you did the thing, or something like that. But I I actually liked him. Found out that I pseudo knew him a bit because I like he played some games with some people that I know, so that's cool. Friend of Nick's or buddy of Nick's, and like I actually liked him throughout the season. It also helped that he worked with my girl Savannah, so I honestly thought that he was going to make it to final tribal, but he didn't. So,
Hey,
um,
he was about as close as he could get. So
mhm.
what do you enjoy the strategy of, I have an idol and I want everyone to know about it, and I'm gonna threaten to use it at tribal as a way to get me further in this game? How do you feel about that strategy?
um, wait, say that again.
How do you feel about the strategy that he took, I guess specifically, or just the strategy itself of using a hidden immunity idol or an immunity idol, at tribal council, to just use it as leverage or use it as a threat against someone else, the way that he was using it? Or, which, I mean, he took more of like a carnival version of it. It looked like, with how performative he was, with every single tribal council. But like, how do you feel about that in general in the game of Survivor?
I mean, it it feels like you can only do it once because with certain people, like I feel like if you're playing with like veterans or something like that, or people who've played the game before, then oh, they're definitely gonna um like snuff you out real quick. Like they're gonna be like, you have an idol. We're gonna make sure you get rid of it. So I feel like he played it well in the game that he was in and everything like that. One thing I did like though, which I feel like more survivors should do this more often, depending. Um, on season David versus Goliath, there was a player who had a fake idol and he had a real idol. Um, so what he did was he got out a fake idol and he was he gave it to Jeff, and then he was looking at everyone's faces and seeing how they would react, and then um I think what had happened is Jeff said, this is, and he's finally, he said like, Jeff, I want to play that for myself, and he went to sit back down, and then he's like, this is a fake idol, and he knew it was a fake idol. But what he did was he was trying to gauge everyone's faces to see if anyone had a big reaction to it, if
Right.
he was going to be the vote. So I don't think Rizzo did that whenever he played his fake idol, but I feel like he just did it for theatrics, because there's obviously tribal theatrics and everything like that. But um, I mean, he did something. I feel like his biggest move though was like that final six idol, or it's only good till final six instead of final five. That was
Oh
like,
yeah.
that was very good. I liked that.
Oh yeah, that was like, yeah, him using that as an excuse, and that's, I think that also highlights how much this fell on the rest of the cast members. So many of which I was told are like super fans or like big fans of the show, only to then find out, and correct me if I'm wrong, they should have known that there really was no reason for his idol to end other than at final five instead of final six. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that blew my mind that he was able to just get away with that with not really anybody trying to go against it. So that
Well,
was his best move. I agree with you in terms of how all of his idol plays. Obviously, I think he orchestrated that Alex move very well. At least that sticks out in the forefront of my mind. Um,
and that's the
that one
thing
that
that
he
I
really led the charge.
well, that's the thing I like about more about Survivor, is that you're able to lie about powers. Like you're able to lie about things that you have and everything like that, and then versus Big Brother you can't.
Right.
And which I feel like it's to a detriment to a bit. I mean, obviously there's, but then again I also feel like, say if you go in there like, I have the uh I don't know why I'm not thinking of what's her. I have the James Gunn power of veto, and
I was
I
about
am
to say,
immune.
when
I
you
am
have
Im-
Tyler Perry idols, you can't really. It's hard. It's okay if you forget a couple
yeah,
of names. So apparently, you're gonna
yeah.
have to add a lot too.
I have the James Gunn superhero idol, or superhero Superman DC idol, TM sponsor. Um, and I can use this at any time whenever I'm a nominee, and everyone's just like, oh yeah, James Gunn is a Big Brother fan.
I do think I do wish you could at least come up with names in Big Brother for a big
Oh,
advantage.
I
I
definitely
would
go.
love.
You see me on there, I'm just like, yeah, I have the um oh,
Good
what's her,
luck.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I try to, what's that, I have the in sync double veto or quadruple veto.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I wish I could remember the name of the boy band that they put together in 17. Is that when they did
Of
the
the
boy
Wax
band?
Street Boys.
Wax Street Boys. Okay, thank you. I should have known you would know.
I have the Wax Street Boy immunity week, and I can choose three other people who, or the two other people who can be immune with me.
Is it me and Nick?
Yeah,
Firmstone, not City.
yeah, Firmstone. Sorry, Nick.
Okay. Anything else to say about Rizzo or
I'm
idols
I'm
or
I'm looking forward to him on 50. I really, cuz I feel like the bad thing about it is that some of these players on season 50 played on season 20, which on there was Russell Hantz, who n- uh, notoriously made it far in the game because people just thought, oh, we haven't seen his season, so he probably didn't do much. If they would have watched his season, then they would have known. JT would have known not to give him his idol.
yeah.
uh, Specifically that. And then, but there are players who have been on that season, and I feel like they're going to look at Rizzo and Savannah and be like, they must have made quite the impression if they were going to cast you two on this season without anyone else seeing your season.
Yeah, and I do think that's a really good point. I do think, especially with the way that Rizzo played his game, if if for some reason Savannah wants to let people know, hey, Rizzo had this one idol and he just held it over our heads for the entirety of the game. I don't know why she would do that. I'm sure they're gonna. Who knows if they'll even get to like be in the same part of the island together. For we don't know what's happening this season, but like. I have to
Right.
wonder if word ever got out, they would have to be thinking about it. But they're probably also thinking ahead about that anyway on 50 with this cast of like Russell Hantz and having people from the season before and not exactly knowing their game and seeing that as a threat.
Well, I will say, spoiler alert, anyone who doesn't, this is the only thing that I know. This is the only thing that I know. That I don't know anything else.
I'm scared.
Uh, this is going to be a big bomb. They're not going to be on the same starting tribe.
Okay. Okay.
I know. This probably changes the whole. You probably won't even watch.
I don't know if I can live with this.
Yeah.
I'd have never known my Survivor screen without Savannah and Rizzo being being 5 feet from each other at most, you know. So that's gonna be tough, but I can accept it. But thank you for that.
Well,
Yeah,
and
Nick
Rizzo
First
has
was
been.
saying you just confirmed that Rizzo wins season 50, so thanks a lot.
Mm, well, Rizzo has been pre gaming with Suri. Have you seen the photo going around?
No, I have not.
He took a picture with Suri during the Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers season finale at some meetup or something in New York, and he was with
Okay.
Suri, and it's just like, oh, this makes me sick. They've been pre gaming for so long.
Yep. Is he probably there in the background too? Who knows?
hmm
Okay,
Um,
we gotta get through this finale at least, Zach.
yeah,
We just got the Riz God moment. Oh, we're already there at where we arrived earlier. In my notes, let me look real quick. If we really missed anything here. No, Final Tribal Council was really next. And we've talked a lot about the remaining three. So Zach, we did it. We talked about the
yay.
finale. But now let's talk more about just big picture stuff because we talked about other I almost said castmates, other castaways that were eliminated from this game, like Rizzo and Christina. We could talk about. I think you guys forgot to talk about Christina's jury question. I'm pretty sure we talked a little bit about that, Nick. But nice try. We can talk a little bit about Sophie, the other Sophie of this game, real quick, because I just want to point. I'm going to ask you the same thing. This doesn't have to be a big analysis because I don't have a lot to analyze with the other Sophie, Sophie Segretti, in this game because it was very much like she started out on old Hina, the Hina strong. We're Channing walking up to the challenges, but even like that tribe seemed to not like her. And then we switched the game up. Every new tribe seemed to just not like her, and she wasn't in the show. she wasn't in the show until Merge. It felt like she was winning all these challenges. She's a threat. People want her out of the game, and then finally, when she's vulnerable, they unanimously vote her out and seemingly have like an indoor, celebration in the next episode because they finally got her. Like it's the beginning of like fucking Wicked or something. And I'm like, what was wrong with Sophie Segretti this game? Like I could not figure it. It was such a weird in the grand scheme of the season. I don't know what happened.
Well,
So what happened here, Zach? You could think about it. I know Sophie Segretti. I know when she turned
it's a
down the
sore
fruit platter,
subject.
that was a lot. Yeah.
Well, there have been rumors. The rumor mill is supposedly she pregame or she was passing notes to someone else in Ponderosa before they got on the island. And
Is
they are
that
saying,
true though?
I don't know. There have been something because apparently well, this is because I will say this. So Jason and MC
The
replaced
alternates.
two people that were pre-gaming.
Okay.
Like it
Yes.
is confirmed that they were.
Yeah, I remember
Um,
Jeff had a whole article about like our sacred rules were broken.
and I forgot who it was that said something. Um,
Okay. See, that's what I thought. Nick said MC discredited it because I remember we brought this up in a different recap, and then I saw
well,
someone else say that like MC was like, I can tell you for sure it was not Sophie that was pre-gaming. I don't remember if she left it like open ended, but she at
I
least
think
said it
she did
wasn't
leave it
Sophie.
open ended because I also heard that
But that doesn't help me
Jake.
with Sophie.
Yeah, I mean, some people say there sometimes there are survivor players like that. Unfortunately, not because of someone has to get cut on the cutting room floor. There's going to be someone not given anything. And I mean, based on the final tribal council, it sounded like Sophie was the front runner for everyone. Like, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, news to me. Um, and I'm, I don't know. I feel like there's some truth, but because there have been some people who like I saw a list of people who didn't even get a confessional in the episodes that they were eliminated or things like that, which is like very bad, or only gets like one confessional in the episodes they get eliminated or something. But I don't know. I could see it, but on the other hand, it's also like I don't know why MC would go out of her way to confirm that Sophie wasn't. So, it's like because I believe that MC and Sophie had linked up
Okay.
or no. MC, Christina, Jason, and Matt, I want to say there may have been someone else. Um they had linked up and said they were going to vote out Sophie in their original starting tribes. And then MC and Sophie started talking and MC wanted to give Sophie a chance or something like that. And that's why they started working together and they switched it around. But they didn't end up going to tribal. That's like
Okay. I remember hearing that they like Sophie was like, yeah, definitely like the for sure we're getting her
goat.
out of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
go. And then yeah, it felt like the only confessional we really saw her in was like the just I hate the fruit, I don't want the fruit, or not confessional, but moment we saw her in was her being like fuck the fruit. And
Yeah.
that was all we really got to see. And then yeah, it just didn't seem like she had that much of a presence, but was still winning these competitions, but everyone still wanted her out enough to unanimously do it that far into to merge. But I do want to I think another Sophie note that I had was her calling Savannah a challenge shield in the episode where they got rid of Jawan as her reasoning for siding with Savannah and Rizzo and Sophie for this vote. So, do you calling someone a challenge shield? that doesn't mean much to me. I hate when people call each other shields. I don't think it ever really makes much sense in the long run. Obviously, it doesn't make much sense for Sophie in the long run. Did you? I don't know if you even remember this, but I just wanted to just say real quick: is challenge shield a term that is ever used in Survivor? Because that was the first time I had heard it.
It's more so a meat shield.
Meat is okay. So meat shield, challenge shield is more so. I've heard meat shield a ton. I didn't know if we had adapted the lingo in Survivor in this new era to be more challenge instead of meat at this point. But
Yeah,
I just thought it was interesting and also not a very good strategy for Sophie. If I had to like say a downfall, was that vote? Absolutely.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, it definitely a blunder that ended up being a blunder for her game. But yeah, I feel like she's just gonna be like, she'll be like, people on X's like will have like about a few different profiles will have pictures of her and be like, remember this queen or something like that, and then that'll be it. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'll ever see her again.
Yeah. We'll never know. Um, I would compare it to a Big Brother player, but I forgot them as well, probably.
Uh,
The person we didn't talk about
Whitney,
was Steve. Yeah, Whitney, Jillian.
yeah.
um,
Oh my gosh, what's her name? Uh, uh,
exactly though.
no, it's gonna bother me now. It's
Well,
Matt's, no, not Matt's girlfriend. The other couple. Um,
the other couple, Elena and Mark.
yeah, Elena. Elena, that's the one.
Elena, friend of the pod. What the hell? Okay.
Sorry,
Um, Steven, we didn't talk a lot about Steven. I do want to mention Steven.
front runner.
I don't the front runner, the challenge beast, the one who was betrayed the most this year on the season of Survivor, it seems, with that heartbreaking vote. But Steven was like the prototypical like Survivor player in my mind, one that would like typically win a season, it seems like. But like it took a vote like Sage turning on him, number one, and then Christina, and then like no one really wanting to put up that fight or willing to take that moment to get him out. I think it took a weird cast that made weird decisions to keep Steven from getting that close to that final tribal council is really what I gathered. But I think I really loved his style. Obviously, probably overly nice, if I had to say, for Survivor standards, if I was on a tribe with him. But hard to bash his skill set, and I really love his episode where he was able to get his advantage, able to pull out an immunity. It was really a Steven episode, so that's what I'll remember him for most. And then also just all of the fucking space facts, but that's an aside. What did you think of Steven?
I thought it was. I thought it was good. I did not. I thought. I mean, I, I thought he was good, but I did not expect so many people to be like, Steven for second chances and stuff. Since Steven robbed and all this
Mm,
stuff, and I'm just like, he played a good game. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like,
yeah.
I mean, he was just a fun character. Like, I mean, I just saw a lot of love for him, which I was surprised by, just because, like, I mean, put him in a vacuum. Like, I've seen his quote unquote archetype quite a bit, just like, under the radar kind of threat to win, getting out mid merge kind of person. So, yeah.
Yeah. Colton says that Steven and Jawan, future season of Survivor. I like Jawan too. I wouldn't hate to see either one of them, but
Yeah, I'm glad Sage got her revenge.
oh my god, yeah, yeah. Sage got her revenge and then axed her closest ally. Oh my god, Sage's other two allies getting on another season of Survivor would be great. Yeah, and see, like Steven being the recipient of what I thought was a really bad move, it's really hard to like shit on someone's game for that. And what Nick said in trusting Sage and Christina being Steven's downfall, that's totally accurate. And I think if that's what we're saying, it was probably the worst part of your game. I think that speaks highly to you as a Survivor player. But I love the way he navigated out of here, or out of the old Hina tribe, the way he was able to navigate within the Hina tribe. And then much like Savannah was able to save himself when he needed to, just not every time when he needed to,
Yeah.
which was whatever, but a fun player to watch. I thought Canada strong. He's Canadian,
Steven's
right?
from Canada?
I'm pretty sure Steven's from Canada. I know Jake was, and if Steven's not from Canada, then that's totally on me, and I don't know where I got that.
Let me see. I don't think he was. Moment of truth.
We can't move on until we find out if Steven's Canadian.
I don't. He's from Denver, Colorado.
That's like it's
Canadian-esque.
Dang it! Did we have another Canadian on this season? I don't even know. If we go further with this research, it's going to show how much I don't know. Still,
we did. Jake.
Okay.
Jeremiah.
Oh my gosh, it was Jeremiah.
Jeremiah
Steven. We always got him confused this season. I remember in all of our coverage. You know how it was.
And that's it. And then your girl Annie.
Oh yes, yeah, Annie of Trashy Annie, Austin, Texas represent. Yeah, Annie's from Canada, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I do have some questions to ask you, Zach. Now that we've ended the season of Survivor, I would love to know. And this is not even going into the Jawan vote really and the Steven vote yet, but I imagine one of these is going to be your favorite. Did you have a favorite tribal council this year? I mean, recency bias, I might go with that Steven vote just because of how many things led up to it.
Yeah,
but it was not an outcome that I wanted, so which is why I'm like,
honestly, the Steven one was pretty good because I was surprised too that it was unanimous.
Yes, the unanimous part was the part that you have to like sit and think about afterwards. It's just like, wait. Christina also voted for Steven?
And I'm just like,
it's
what?
It's like nothing you think about it, or at least I didn't think about it at first. I saw, Nick, you got love for the Jawan vote because we had the Christina idol played on Steven. We had the Savannah secret vote. We had the fake idol. So a lot of good ones there. And yeah, another blind side for Jawan, his ultimate horror movie. We didn't talk about Jawan really a lot either yet. But
I feel like it was just Jawan and Sage. I feel like one without the other.
Yeah, I mean, that is a large part of the season was just Bottoms Up and Tres Leches, which I haven't really name dropped yet on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So
until now,
dropping Tres Leches. So yeah, you're right though. I think he was also, he had as many votes cast against him by Savannah. Well, wait, Savannah got double votes against Jawan, which is like her probably favorite moment of the season. Double the bag mishap, double the vote against Jawan. It's just really how it works out this season. So I might go with the Jawan one now that I've really fleshed it out. Or it may be a tie. I'm going to say a tie between those two. But we had some good ones. Alex was blindsided. Sophie was blindsided, kind of. But both of those were unanimous. So
yeah. Is it really I guess it is a blindside
for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it
Shannon was blindsided. Nate was blindsided. So we had a lot of votes that really caught the other person off guard. The Shannon one, I really like the Shannon episode. I think for some reason, I think pre-merge, I think I have a big soft spot for that one. But then again, the season did get better as it went on, so it's hard to choose. Annie blindsided. Yeah, we want to think back to that too.
I'm trying to.
Nick is reminding me of the Savannah also turning to Jawan during the vote and being like, "Did you do this? Was it you, Joseph?" And then Rizzo standing up after the vote, which I was like, "Okay, whoa, we don't need to do all that."
You were coming for me.
It's like, okay, I get it.
He just pushes him or something.
They fight, yeah. The middle spits in his eye. Jeremiah and Nicole.
No, no one played their shot in the dark this season.
Probably because they know it's useless. Well, not, but
Depends. I'd say the way that uh Rachel Lamont, friend of the pod, um winner of season 47, what she did, um she played her shot in the dark and tried to see everyone's reactions to it, to her not getting saved or safe, and
mhm.
then based off of that she decided to play her idol.
Okay.
She misplayed her
That's
idol, but she was one of the three people that they were considering.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that as a strategy, just to gauge if you're able to do it, why not? Um, that's definitely what Rizzo should say that he did as well for his fake idol and stuff. Jason played his. No, Jason, nobody played it. There are people that should have played it. Like I think Jason should have played it. I think MC
But
should have played it, from what I
and I remember
remember.
we said Jason should have played it, but he said no, the numbers, and we are just like, what?
Yeah, didn't even bring it. Like weird. Um, so yeah, there was that. Okay. I think the most important tribals, though, we said, I want to say. Favorite moment of the season, Zach? Do you have one? We had a lot of moments this season, from the secret to the spitting in the face of Nicole to just Kelly being Kelly, and then Shannon's episode had, I already
So,
said, had a great
oh,
moments.
Savannah and MC.
Savannah and MC. Oh, the moment where she jumped
Yeah.
on the ground to try to get the keys. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good job.
That was a good moment. Okay. I like that one
Yeah.
too. Everyone else
Almost
started
had
saying moments.
it.
Okay. Jawan in the bags. I really liked.
Jawan in the water
Um,
bottle.
Jawan in the water bottle. Rizzo's
Jawan in the
idols probably
torch.
could be just one thing.
Did we talk about
Jawan in
that?
the What is Jawan in the torch? What happened there?
He grabbed Rizzo's torch instead of his own.
Oh, right. um it's Nick Furbstone, you're killing me. What else was a great moment this year that I really liked? The Holy Mary edit from Soph in that one immunity challenge, where it just
Oh yeah,
randomly like cut and it was like suddenly like hardcore her narrating the entire
yeah.
competition. Um I've noticed one thing. This is not a favorite moment of the season, but I've noticed. I think my biggest pet peeve is Jeff Probst listing out foods that they get to win if they win the
Oh,
competition.
get
I
used to
hate
it.
it. I hate it. I hate it as much as Christina hates Savannah. Like when he just lists off like hamburgers and then just starts slowly saying foods on top of that. I want to mute.
French fries,
Yeah.
soda,
All
and
the
best of
soda, all
all,
the fixins.
and best of all, and everyone is just paused like brownies. And they're just like,
Oh.
oh.
Wait until Barrett sees Jeff explain an Applebee's or Outback reward. I don't want to. After
Oh yeah.
seeing Phil do the Cookie Monster thing, I think anything's possible. And also after seeing like Jeff multiple times do like a weird casting thing. Or no, he did like the British accent in one of the casting videos. And then he had the one episode where he was like Othello auditioning for the
Oh yeah.
play. I don't remember what the context was, but he did like that, and Sage was like, couldn't even remember what to say because
Yeah.
he
He's just
did
like,
that.
or remember whenever Steven like was about to like do the challenge narration or whatever, and then he just
Oh my
stopped.
god, yes. Well, yeah. How could you possibly do that off the top of your head on
I could
on
do it.
TV? Well, you wouldn't even have the music. You need the. I feel like
I don't need the music. I could do it right now. So, let's see. First things first, gotta take back the idol. You're gonna make me work. You're gonna make me walk for it. Okay. For today's challenge, two teams. the tribes are gonna go dig into the sand, and in the sand there will be bags, and in the bags there will be some balls, and what you're gonna have to do is throw those balls into a basket, and once you've thrown all the balls into the basket, that will release some hooks, and those hooks will be used on a monkey bar, and you will use those monkey bars on the hooks and get your way across the water. And in the water, there will be a giant snake. And
No.
once you get to the snake, you'll have to carry it back to the shore. And inside the snake, there will be some puzzle pieces. Last team to assemble the puzzle goes straight to tribal. First team wins immunity and reward. Want to know what you're playing for? The first team
Don't tell
gets
me you're playing for food.
fish.
Just fish already? Cool.
Second place team,
Oh, you're still
goldfish.
going. Not a bad second place actually. I just imagined you fully doing you didn't have any of the footage beforehand of like those other people like running through or swimming through the water and climbing
yeah.
over everything, the foot like
I
the
was just
slow-mo footage they do. So you're
watch.
doing it all yourself.
Yeah, I watch. Literally, I say that like literally, I could picture in my mind it being a challenge, like that being the challenge or something.
That was good. No, it was very. I mean, yeah, I think you hit the core elements. A lot of sandbags and or bags with balls and a puzzle to finish it off, which seems to be like 95% of the competitions. So
And lifting something heavy as a team.
you do have to lift something. Yes, you have to lift. We have to lift together. We have to lift and walk out of ocean. We have to set down and crawl as team. We can sometimes crawl and dig, sometimes crawling and digging, and then sometimes crawling, digging, and climb to top it all off. So
Throwing tomatoes at the season. Wow.
oh, come on. Yeah, I mean,
It wasn't
I
that
guess
bad.
well, that's I guess that's leads into my next question is what will you remember this season for? Or like think of your like when you describe this season to other people, like you're gonna say season 49 was the season that blank. What will you remember most about it, or the thing that you think like sticks out? Because
I think it's only because like that's really what I know this season for, because it's the first time that it's happened. It's the first time that the winner was officially spoiled for me.
oh, you took a direction I did not expect
I
with
mean,
that.
that's personal, but like,
Yeah.
but as far as like content within the season, I mean, quite honest, I wish these four would have came together, because I kept on thinking about it, and nothing against everyone else. I like everyone else, but like Savannah, Sage, Sophie, Rizzo, like it was their seasons. Like obviously Savannah and Rizzo more, but I feel like in the beginning was Sophie. Like she had a lot of the content. And then towards the end, before the merge, was a lot of Sage. And then we got a lot of Savannah. And Rizzo was kind of spread throughout. So it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like the biggest thing, unfortunately, is going to have to be Jake. I mean, it's never really happened before.
I mean, yeah, I don't blame you. I think that's totally fair. I mean, I think if you're wanting to get like into the specifics of the season itself, I think that's a good moment to highlight, especially when it comes to Medivacs. It seemed like that's going to be the one that lives in infamy from now on, especially because of Jake's story leading up to it.
Nick with I kind of see it too.
Nick City.
Yeah, Nick says, I feel like it's in my top 3 of the new school seasons. And I can honestly agree. Because it started out slow, but
It was hot out. Yeah.
yeah, it was hot. And wait, what were you saying? But it built into a good season, and I liked it. So
Yeah, I think this last half is if I had to compare the two halves of the season, I would say the first half was more like permanent tattoo, while the second half was more temporary. But I would say this season was, dare I say, the Savannah season. Would be
yeah.
one. I know I saw another person say the season of, Rizzo not using his idol. I think that would be something people talk about for the future. Um, but I agree with you, Zach. I think people are going to point out something like the Jake drive-by, or they're just going to point out the C crate in general. This would be the C crate season, but um, I think if you want to get more specific with Survivor fans, maybe it'll be known as the season where everyone decided not to get out Savannah, or the season where everyone decided to not get out Rizzo too.
I
Is
mean,
largely how I felt like this season ended up. Which, while it was entertaining, it could be kind of frustrating, you know.
I guess that's the difference too. It's like because I've watched there have been quite a few seasons where something like this, where there's someone obvious that you should get out, but it just doesn't happen. And like I feel like this especially it'd be different if there were twists or things like that that really helped and favored them, which there were twists, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking like a an idol every round or something. Like Rizzo literally had an idol and he could have been voted out with it pretty much at any time. But like they just decided to let him flaunt it.
Yeah, how many votes did Rizzo even get throughout this entire season? Two. He had
Let
the
me
one
see.
again with Christina that she threw on him, was like the backup for that Jawan vote, and then
Let's see. Uh
you had
Jason
Alex.
voted for Jason voted for him. Alex voted for him. Uh who's this?
Christina.
Christina voted for him. Yeah, just 3 votes.
And then Savannah just had the Jawan vote, where she got 3 votes, and then outside of that, she
She didn't
got
get it. She
she
didn't
got
get any.
one vote. With Sophie
Oh
was the
yeah.
only vote against her in that vote. So,
Yeah.
um,
So 4
so yeah.
votes. Like
Man, that's
yeah.
those two tribal. Just looking at this right now, sorry, those two tribals. It's crazy that Savannah went home and neither of them. Like, not Savannah, Rizzo, or Sophie went home. Well, that Sophie did. The other Sophie didn't go home in either of those tribals. It blows my mind.
Or the one whenever Rizzo should have gone home whenever it was MC instead, and
Yep,
he had his idol, he didn't even play it.
didn't even play it. Didn't even play it. Okay, well, that's cool. What else did I have to ask? Favorite player from the season? You can't pick Savannah. I'm sorry.
What?
I just figured you were gonna pick Savannah.
I mean, Jake. I'm just kidding. Um, love you, Jake. Um, I- if it's not Savannah, then Sophie. I have to stick with my women, but Savannah is like top tier. Love her down. Like she's. I don't consider her a villain. I feel like she's more of like an anti-hero, if anything. Like she wasn't purely villainous. I feel like she was just trying to win, and she wasn't doing anything out of spite or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, she was just looking for her betterment and stuff, and she wasn't gonna do anything like dirty or anything like that, like nothing crazy. So, but she got so much hate this season because everyone was she's so mean, uh she's so arrogant and all this stuff, and it's like, is she, or are you just saying that because we already know what's gonna happen?
A little bit of both. Yeah. I mean, I feel like every time you're easy to hater if you're kind of like that classic villain in a reality show. You're just gonna have to deal with that fact. And I feel like Survivor suits her very well. So everyone else
What
could pick
about you?
Savannah, by the way. I'm picking Savannah. No, I mean, I really would, but since I know since Savannah's the obvious choice, that's the only reason I'm saying don't pick Savannah right now. But besides
So
Savannah, I would say, oh, I really liked Rizzo. Well, at least I would be annoyed if I played with him with everything he did, but I respect the play or lack of
better he
play.
do it than you.
Yeah. You can have all of that. I really liked Sage until those moves. I really liked Jawan as a character too. Bottoms Up as an alliance was really fun to watch for me. Um, I say really fun. I wish they had more time together, but God, I would be copying you, Zach. I would say Sophie as well. Um, just
So
because I
he
feel like it's so easy. She was at the beginning. We saw so much of her. She was that main character, and because she went to 12 different tribals, it was like we always saw her. It's really hard not to have her as kind of like the main character, or at least the person that we've seen kind of narrating the entire show in a way, or at least has been a key piece through all of this, being in the key trio as well. Um, and especially because of all of that, I think outside of Savannah and Rizzo, she's easily the person that I rooted for the most. Not that I didn't root for Savannah and Rizzo, but I agree with you.
yeah.
Is really what I'm saying.
And I also feel like on another season, Sophie probably would be a good contender to win.
Hmm. I thought
I
she was a
mean,
good contender to win tonight, even with
yeah, I did too. Yeah,
who she was up against. So
it was. I feel like it was. Some people either already had their mind made up, or Savannah was. People weren't flopping really hard at Final Tribal Council, so it was just if Savannah did a terrible job at your Final Tribal Council, then I feel like Sophie would have gotten votes. But I feel like Savannah was able to hold her own because obviously it's edited, so we don't see the full thing. But yeah,
yeah, I I think she did everything she needed to do at least towards the end of this game, especially when I know I've already brought it up, but when she started off this episode coming off of like I've just lost myself $1 million because of what I did at the last tribal council. I flopped in front of the entire jury, and going from that to then getting that advantage, even though it did amount to a really good advantage, but she won the advantage and then wins the final immunity, and then does a really solid job strategizing her way to final tribal council. And I think if it comes down to Rizzo winning that fire making, and it's Rizzo, Sage, and Sophie in that final three spots, or in the final three spots, I really would love to know what the jury's votes would have been, and I'm sure we'll find that out soon enough. But I would be crazy. It would be crazy to me if she didn't have a shot in that final three scenario, and I think she was so close to achieving that. It took Rizzo just making a fire, but
dang it,
but yeah.
she blames Rizzo for the rest of the time.
Sophie should have taken the Yaddle from Rizdork when she had the chance. Don't we know it, Aaliyah? Aaliyah, big fan of the episode.
Hey, sometimes the game plays you or you play the game.
Jeff said we're looking on for spots on 50.
That is true. And so one thing I did want to ask though, since we're already like going through the players, so who would you want to see have a second chance?
It is,
Obviously, besides people who already are getting a second chance.
yeah. I mean, I think I didn't love Jake on the show. Like, Jake wouldn't be the person I would have, an Alex bromance with. Um, but I do think Jake probably, just because of the rarity of his, drive by, I do think he should come back on the show. So I'm assuming he'll come back. But for the sake of like, I just need to see them on this show again. Um, I think MC would be very intriguing to see come back. I thought, she was a very new fan to the show, and I thought just with how she did in the show leading up to her demise, I really liked what I saw, and she was able to find advantages. She was able to be the hero in competitions. She was able to be liked, and it was really due to just an unfortunate tribe setup to why she really got eliminated, and um, she really tried and even went out of her way strategically to do something that was more out of the game, which I also really respected. And I know everyone can go off the wayside with that argument, but I really would like to see MC again. I think if I
Well,
had to
no.
pick, as well as Jawan, Jawan would be really cool to see again as well. Who would you say?
Um, Sophie. I would like to see Sophie again. Maybe, and that's Sophie B.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
um, I wouldn't. I would. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Christina again, only because I feel like if she was given another chance, I feel like she would take more agency with her game.
Hmm.
Um, um, and I liked her. I liked her character. Um, but I think ultimately Sophie, she's just so close, and she played a good game. Um, wasn't enough this time, but maybe she can go out and do it again.
Yeah, yeah. I do, and for the record, I know I just said Sophie was my favorite player, so I'd hope everyone would also know that I would like to see her again. I kind of wanted to spread the wealth a little bit too, though. Sophie would be a
Yeah.
great second chance player, and like I said, Jake will probably be just a default second chance player for everyone. Um, but yeah, we haven't given a lot of love to Matt lately either. Maybe we need to talk about Matt again. Yeah, okay. We don't. It's
I just
late. It's
remember.
almost 1 a.m.
Yeah. How do you feel hype for 50?
I'm actually very ready for 50. I'm gonna need a refresher on a lot of the players in 50 because I obviously have not seen probably even one of the seasons, especially if there are people who played multiple. Um, so I am ready. Obviously, like I think by default I will be rooting for Suri. Which like seeing
What?
Suri in that trailer, I was like, does Suri even know what show she's on at this point anymore? Is she just being like thrown to every single CBS show possible, or whether it's even Survivor in another country? Well, I mean it already is, but Survivor that's aired in another country.
She's just like, oh, I thought this was Australian Survivor.
Yeah. So probably by default rooting for Suri. Who are you rooting for on 50?
Um, honestly, there's quite a bit because I was wondering, which we'll talk about this another time. Um, wait, is this not? Oh, one
It's okay.
second. I clicked the wrong.
Oh, I see people already talking about Trader Season 4. Yes, we will be
Oh,
covering Trader Season 4 as
well,
well.
this is a tough time to say. We will be covering it. But yes. Uh, but I was also thinking that maybe because Traitors would be done. Well, we'll talk about this after. Never mind. I don't want to. But because there's so many players that I like Angelina. I, I really want to root for her. Aubrey, I really like. Um, Sari, obviously. Um, Emily Flippin. I love her so much. Genevieve is amazing. Um, Mike White, honestly.
Haven't heard of
Uh,
him.
Rick Devens, Savannah. There's quite a few, and
Sophie
uh,
Segretti. Next,
what?
you're going to tell me she's also not on the same tribe as Savannah or Rizzo.
Oh, you're right. They can only be on they can only be on Survivor if they're on the same beach and on the same have the same colors.
That's all I know. All I know in Survivor is Survivor 49. You're telling me I got to move on? Impossible.
Yeah, but I I'm very intrigued for the twists that are going to be in play supposedly. Um the
Intrigued is a very optimistic outlook from that trailer.
well
So,
from so I'm going to just take a guess. The Billie Eilish boomerang idol. Um I'm going to assume that you can use it, and if it's used correctly, you get it back. Which I don't know how it could be. I guess if you get a vote negated at least or something.
you use an idol, it's used successfully, you get it. Yeah, why not? That sounds like the most logical one to me. Billie Eilish,
Uh,
thank you for this idol.
which I didn't know
That's
was a Survivor fan.
Colton said that's dumb. So you're probably right.
Yeah. I don't know what Zach Brown is doing, bringing a fish.
Zach Brown, let's see. It said Zach Brown, Billie Eilish, Jimmy Fallon, and then Mr. Beast showed up. So that part, I'm not excited for it. Like none of it. I don't know what any of that's gonna be. But if CBS is gonna do Survivor 50 and do like a whole we're caving to the money and the brand deal kind of thing associated with it, like God help us all. God help
Well,
us all if Jeff Probst is trying to get like a Mr. Beast kind of like rebrand to him. We can't do this.
Nikki Glasser has the golden immunity idol. Did you see that?
Huh?
Nikki Glazer, whatever her name is.
Yeah. Wait, she had okay, say that again.
She has the golden immunity idol.
When was she included in this?
It wasn't in the trailer, it was in the commercials. Um like for the I don't know what's she hosting? Is it the Emmys?
Yeah, well, I don't
Well,
know. Sure.
she's hosting something, and she is like, "Hey, Survivor fans, look what Jeff Probst gave me. He gave me the golden hidden immunity idol, and you could see it, just in case I need it for me hosting the Emmys or something live on whatever day."
Oh my god. Okay. Nick, yeah, it's not. It didn't make sense to me either. It's just Zach just came out of nowhere saying Nikki Glazer hidden immunity idol or golden immunity. I didn't know what it was. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just learned what the Billie Eilish boomerang one was.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm
No,
in the casting team.
I know. This is more. You've been talking about this for months now, so
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. We will have some things in store for people.
yeah. As
So
well as what?
I do want to say, this is me interviewing you.
Oh
How
yeah.
does it feel? This is your first full Survivor season that you've watched in how long?
Oh,
5 years?
I watched Russell Hance's season. Like I binged it like not that long ago. So it's like that's fairly recent, but watching it like week to week,
Live, yeah.
I've never completed a season week to week like I have for this one. So this is really my first time doing it like a proper Survivor fan. Um so cuz even Winners at War I like stopped and then had to go back and finish later on. So this is very big for me. And was there another question added onto that? Just how do I feel? It feels
I
great.
say, yeah, how do you feel? And obviously, compared to Big Brother, it feels much shorter, especially because there's only one day a week where
Mm.
you have to watch it.
Yeah, and but I do think that makes it a bit harder because I forget about it or like it's way easier for me to put it in the back of my mind as opposed to Big Brother is like there all the time. But that is the downside as well as Big Brother is that you kind of live with it for as long as it is on. It is kind of it's your whole day. So yeah, that element was, but the thing that was weird to me is just analyzing this game can get very difficult when I don't know the full story. Or like I don't, especially and this is like the Amazing Race thing too. When it comes to talking about moves that were made, it's very like I don't like saying things and then not knowing if like someone in chat or someone like I'm going to see later on Blue Sky or something where they clarify their stance on a move, or they clarify that I actually said this and they left this out. I don't like not knowing those things, but I'm
Mhm.
so used to Big Brother and like knowing. So it's just like I don't know whether to skip over certain things to talk about because I just don't know the full picture, or if it's worth talking about. And I think that's been the challenging thing. So, but it's been very fun to watch this season. I've had a great time getting to feel a lot more confident in talking about Survivor, at least like knowing things that you're talking about, even if it comes down to like saying what a reward is or like what shot in the dark is. I didn't know what those things were before watching this or the journey, and the
Oh
like
yeah.
all the add-ons for this new era were very new to me.
Knowing that
So
we are learning how much we hate some of the heroistic stuff that's supposed to make you emotional.
yeah, yeah, which I mean, like, oh my god, going back to like Christina in episode 10, if Christina highlighted anything, it's just how horrible those other moments are for other people when they're like, I was bullied when I was a kid and now I won a cardio competition. It's just like it's that compared to like grief. I feel like going on this show, it's just like
Mhm.
it's weird that they include all spectrums of it, or that it's such a core element when I feel like it's so um it can be so intrusive. I feel like on people, and I don't appreciate some of that, even though they play it for the big moment. Like Jeff said, I think his favorite moment of the season was that Christina moment, which like I get it. It's just like she's also going through a lot. Like,
Yeah.
and it was like she was feeling like that because she was having such a shitty time. Like, um, but I don't know. It's complicated. Reality TV is complicated with all that stuff. I don't know how I got there from there, but this was a fun season, I think, in the grand scheme of things. I liked it more than The Amazing Race, covering that at the same time.
Oh yeah, it's definitely there's more of a chance. Well, it also helps that it was women that were dominating the game and not the usual man. But
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah,
Three women,
it's
all with S names.
yeah. I guess it's also something too. Whenever you watch the show, it's like you just come to learn like there are some uh things that you just find out and things like that later on, which it's like most of the time, unlike well, there are sometimes unlike Big Brother, they're they at least try to show you the important parts, at least somewhat. Obviously, that's not the case all the time, but they are better editors than Big Brother. So,
Yeah, yeah. That's the cool thing about it, is that you can read into a lot of the edit, whereas Big Brother's kind of just like we're hoping this works out. Like it may make sense when we rewatch it. It may make zero sense. Like season 27 probably is going to make zero sense when Ashley isn't included for like 2 months of the time, and so
or whenever season 15, when they make Nick Uhas the main character and giving all the confessionals and stuff that he gets eliminated like this.
God, yeah, yeah. We drowned in Grodner's tears that night that he got evicted. I mean, like. Aaliyah, you asked what our favorite BB season is. I can speak for Zach. His favorite's season 18, but it's an ongoing joke. You had to be here for it. But my
Yeah.
favorite season, I go back and forth on that. I'm gonna say today,
All Stars
season
2.
yes. Well, that's Aaliyah's one of her favorite seasons is All Star 2 apparently, which is interesting. I like season 8. That's the first season I watched, so that's a good one to pick for me, but I also like 10, 12, 14 kind of, uh 17, 18. Just kidding. I don't like that one. Um and
10.
then I go back and forth on any of the new seasons, so to answer your question, I like 27 though, the most recent one. I understand if you don't like that one though. Okay. Anything else with Survivor 49, Zach, that you would like to talk about?
I think we've covered it all. I mean, I've enjoyed
I
it.
think so too.
Might be a regular stay.
Regular stay. Okay. At least I saw a lot of people say top half of the new era is where they would rank this season. And I think that's not a bad outcome for what maybe we thought at the beginning of the year, or the beginning of the season with the disaster tribe. Okay. I'll get Islands in the Stream. and then we can get out of here. I can't believe the next time we talk about Survivor, it's going to be a Suri season.
And then we're going to talk about a Survivor player on Traders.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We're going to be podcasting about a podcaster Survivor player. So
That he
with
can't
that being
podcast
said-
over.
And yeah, he can't talk about it. It's all
We can.
ours.
Yeah.
Stay out of our territory. It's Traders. So Traders season 4, we'll be talking about that. Starting in about, I don't know, give us a couple of weeks. We'll probably do a cast preview, some sort of preview for the show, and then we'll do weekly episodes or weekly podcasts when those episodes drop. So yes, you all get to sleep. Mary making an appearance in the chat at the last second. Everyone, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for being here for all of our Survivor coverage that we've done this year. This was our mega leg update, but Survivor version this time. So thank you so much for everything, whether in the chat, whether after the fact, whether audio only, watching our faces, whatever you do. All those links in the description below if you want to find us anywhere, Discord, Blue Sky, TikTok, Twitter, whatever. They're all there. Zach, thank you so much for being here this entire season of Survivor 49. Nick City, if you're out there, Nick City, thank you so much for your Survivor coverage as well. I feel so much more educated in Survivor because of you. Yeah, everyone here in chat tonight as well. I already said that probably, but I'm gonna say it again. What did Sage say during that one challenge? I love you, Bentley. I love you, Sage. I'm so proud of you. So yeah, we'll see you when we see you. And that's all I got. Zach, say the thing you always say. Let's get out of here.
In the hands of the fans. Perception is reality. Our reality.
Good night, everybody.